course, with the Krull, trying to be aggressive, trying to shut down a target. You know, maybe they go for something like a pedal, even though we didn't see them play it in the regular season. It is still something that can get pulled out and played to a level that can stop a Krull from being able to have as much effectiveness.
I think Fnatic should probably take Celeste here, because they don't. They're going to give that over to Nova, which is a strong carry. There's also CP Idris is open too, so either or. Like, what are they going to decide? Am I going to take Idris here, or am I going to take Celeste away from them? However, I feel like Celeste may be the better option. Wow, they're going to take Lance and probably take Celeste here, I'm assuming, or a CP Idris. So let's see who's going to
I was going to say, one of the most surprising things about this draft is that we're on to the final 2 picks, and Idris has not made an appearance yet.
Yeah.
This is such a strong pick. It's one that Nova has loved. It was Truth's second most played hero after the Kestrel, so it's really surprising that Sven went through, but Sky's going to come through, which was a strong pick for Fnatic during the regular season.
This is a weapon lane Grace, I assume, and then it's going to be a jungle CP Sky, because weapon Sky would not make sense in this situation at all.
Could be a lane Lance.
I have
Take
to
a
say,
page out of Kavalifar's book.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. It could be. You're right. It could
now,
be.
when I've been talking to teams like TSM, Catherine, Krull, and Idris is basically the strongest composition in their opinion. Do we feel like this is a significant issue for Fnatic? In fact, we don't have time to talk about whether it's an issue. We'll let the casters do that. We've got to pass it on over and get on into the first game of our second quarterfinal.
Thank you very much, guys. Meet yours, Scoundrel for Nova versus Fnatic, a round 2 of EU versus NA. We've already seen EU take 1 game today off the North American teams. Will we see any more?
Yeah, 1 game, but not the series, unfortunately. North American reigning supreme there. I've talked to a lot of the teams. If there is one European team that can win today, Fnatic is the European hope against Nova. But let's not pitch it any other way. This is a fairly even matchup coming into things. The 2nd seed from Europe versus the 3rd seed in North America. And this is a North American team with some incredible talent. A rising star in the form of Truth, really coming out of his shell at this live championships. As a person and a player, but you do have my favorite player of the North American scene, Starboy. And obviously, also, you've got Lone Delphi in the jungle. But yeah, I think this is going to be an incredibly good match. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, there we go. We're on to the fold already. Game number 1 of this best of 5, Nova versus Fnatic. And what they mentioned on the desk, and what we'll touch on right now, is Nova's composition. TSM saying this is probably one of the strongest 3-man compositions on the board right now.
Well, this is actually what I was talking to Flash about yesterday. He goes, if I could pick a composition that I want, CP Idris, Krull, and Catherine would be the ultimate composition for me. And Nova have just got their hands on it. Fnatic have drafted something incredibly weird. Techno JJ in lane, might even be a Weapon Power Sky in the lane, and Palmotoro coming in on what appears to be a Weapon Power Grace in the jungle. Is this going to be a double Weapon Power with Weapon Power Grace in the jungle? I mean, it's just not something that I've seen a lot of.
Does leave a lot of questions unanswered until we get into the mid-stage, although Palmotoro making an appearance in the lane. Starboy and Truth are going to recognize that and just back off. Now Starboy, when does he really... Not Starboy, sorry, what, Truth even. When does he really start to come online? Because there's a lot of engagement there. There's just all run in, double silence from Starboy when he gets that echo. Does seem like Tenno JJ is going to have a little bit of an issue with it.
It's going to be waiting. We might have a big contest here over the Elder Treant in the mid. Lone Delphi waiting himself up, but isn't going to contest. He doesn't have the support of Starboy right now. And Palmotoro will gladly take that. Back off, get the reset on his camps, and head for another rotation. Now, you mentioned Truth on this CP Idris. When does he come online? Well, you know, he spikes with the Shatter Glass, which is undoubtedly going to be his first item. Obviously, CP Idris on this current update can achieve his Divergent Path a little bit more readily than he could in the past. But it is a late game carry in all respects. So 3 CP items, you expect alternating Current, Broken Myth, and Shatter Glass to be those 3 big spikes. Once Truth hits that, he will be a powerhouse. So keep your eye on.
All about the scaling, and Starboy as well is going to do pretty mean work to Techno JJ in all honesty. He's going to rely on Netwiller actually landing something. That Chain CC is going to be something to look for too as well. Impale straight into Holy Nova, for example.
I'm wondering whether this will be a CP Sky in the lane. It's just very unusual. Wait a second, we might have a fight.
In a little bit of trouble. Smite not building up just yet. Lone Delphi taking a fair bit of damage as well. There comes the charge, the benediction onto Lone Delphi. Does have to use those healing potions to get out of there and actually smites Palmotoro, I believe, to get the little bit of extra HP. It's going to be all right though. A lot of mobility.
Oh, Truth taking a bit of punishment from Palmotoro here. He's picked up his 6 sins, working towards what's likely going to be a Tension Bow first item. Often generally tend to see that on Grace, even despite the Tension Bow nerf. Not that you see a huge amount of Weapon Power Grace right now anyway, but you do see a little bit from time to time, and Tensionbow works so well with her kit. She dives in with that Benediction, gets the big basic attack off, huge amount of burst damage, and if you can land the second part, all the better, because that's what's got the weapon power scaling for the Grace.
Toilette taking a little bit of a beating. Now Truth and Starboy are pushing in the lane.
It is CP Sky in the lane for TechnoJJ. I was very worried whether it was going to be a double weapon power. I didn't think that works particularly too well with the Sky. So it is a CP Sky in the lane. Now CP Sky in the lane classically wasn't played a huge amount because obviously minions tank forward barrage a lot and therefore it's going to deny a lot of your damage output. But it does allow you to get a huge amount of gold. Now CP Sky is not someone that spikes huge amounts of levels. It's not like a Celeste where you get a massive impact when you overdrive your first ability. But you do spike with items, and being in the lane you get a greater gold income, you hit those items more readily. So this is going to allow TechnoJJ to scale up very, very quickly. Scale up a little bit quicker than he would in the jungle and try and combat this mid game of the Cruel to try and take him out then.
Well, they want to try and go early game. Palmatora has got the tension bow, so he wants to go for a little engagement. He is going to do that. Truth losing about a third of his HP in one proc of the Benediction. However, the jungle just intensifies Fnatic just permanently in Nova's lane. And this is the talking point of Fnatic, their proactivity. And they're showing it just right now, because we've seen over in the past season that they've not been proactive. They've kind of been less resting on their laurels a little bit and not pushing their advantages, not pushing forward to try and find these early advantages. Speaking of that, Starboy's going to get jumped on. Impale does land, and Benediction will finish off the kill. Palmatoro picks up first blood.
That was a very risky play from Starboy, all for the sake of a stack. You're going into a huge amount of CC, and he wastes the only thing to stop the Grace Holy Nova as well. TechnoJJ happy to deal the damage. And we've often talked about why Sky, CP Sky specifically, is good into Catherine. One of Catherine's main abilities that helps a tank and be a frontline is that Storm Guard. Obviously, it reflects any damage greater than 10% of Catherine's max HP. Sky's forward barrage ticks don't ever go above 10% of Catherine's max HP, so you never get the reflection damage on the forward barrage, meaning that you're always going to be able to deal significant damage to this Catherine who is wanting to stand in the front line. That's often why Sky is considered pretty good into Catherine, especially if you go towards a Frostburn, which is the first item for TechnoJJ. You can also slow down her relentless pursuit looking to, or merciless pursuit looking to find that stun.
Oh, he's got his tier through. Oh, Starboy stunned a minion, which means Benediction will come out onto Truth again. Palmatora doing a fair bit of work right now with that tension bow, although picking up a couple of defensive items. And Delphi off to the side does have Hell's Heart available and also got his own tension bow. Oh boy, the emote's coming out already. It's only one kill. Come on, Nova.
Just going to clear the wave here. Remember, level 6 on the Cruel is very similar to level 6 on Koshka. You do have to respect that engage potential of the From Hell's Heart. So you need to get that reflex block. You need to get Palmatora working towards it. I would imagine TechnoJJ will be doing the same. Slow-paced game so far, though. Probably suits Fnatic more than it does Nova.
Seems to be the case. Now, EU especially coming into this tournament, you've got to be a little bit scared. You are coming against the giants that are North America. Palmatora in a little bit of trouble, though. Holy Nova is going to land onto low Delphi. Another Impale coming through as well. That's a massive heal. We're just going to heal him up, and the Fountain comes out too. TechnoJJ is going to find the kill onto low Delphi regardless, and Starboy sacrificing his own life will go down as well. Fnatic, 6 minutes in, they're 3 kills up.
3 kills up, starting to turn the handle here on this game. You wanted to see Fnatic in a proactive manner. They're trying to do that. Palmatoro does get that forward healing Treant, looking to put pressure onto Truth here. The more and more you can pressure the early game for Fnatic, the less and less you have to worry about this late game Idris coming online. You do have a pretty solid late game yourself. Sky, in this update, the more CP she gets, the more powerful she gets. She's a lot more powerful single target in the late game than she was pre-update changes when she had the change to make her lock on the more viable way of dealing damage. So there is that late game prowess for Fnatic as well, but Idris CP is often considered one of the most powerful late game carries in the game, and you always have to respect how influential he can be as Nova go for the gold mine.
Toilette wants to make something of it, however, going fairly low. Star Delphi is going to find the kill on the gold miner. 213 gold apiece for Nova, so at least they secure that one. Even in the gold lead up, almost there. Palmatora getting a nice bit of damage onto Truth. Has to dash back. Those Chakrams doing a fair bit of damage with that CP build. However, Fnatic doesn't look like they're finished just yet. Toilette playing very aggressive here.
They were just very, I mean, they could have maybe looked for a fight here, but they're going to take positional advantage in the lane, try and bring Nova up. They're going to start a siege on this first tier turret, maybe look for an engage after. Here goes Nova.
Nova creeping up. They do need maybe that blast tremor to actually initiate the engage. There is a fair bit of disengage from Fnatic we've got to keep in our minds. Oh, Lone Delphi. Hello. Palmatora going fairly low. It's going to get stunned up as well. That reflux spot came out to block the smite. And Toilette is in the front line, just tanking up most of the damage from Truth.
Yeah, Lone Delphi's not done yet, though. He's going to pop that movement speed, maybe looking to get onto Palmatoro in the back of his jungle, who's doing the healing tree on right now. Palmatoro.
Off screen, Palmatoro ends up going down. Lone Delphi picks up the kill. Netwillet now in a lot of trouble. Nice getting him all onto two members. There comes the death from above.
Oh, great death from above.
Oh,
Absolutely beautiful saves, potentially even the first turret for Fnatic here, Jaws.
It might just do that. Netwillet, though, is very low. He does have to get a recall off soon. Blast Tremor was used by Starboy. Will need Nova just to take something else off the map. We always remember NA teams always looking for objectives. If they can't get the turret, they're going to get Sentry instead.
Nova have started to mount a comeback here. They've got the gold advantage after that gold mine as well, and Fnatic, for all of their early game work, have got very little to show for it. Nova happy to start scaling up, alternating current almost finished for Truth. He's accelerating towards his item spikes super quickly, but Techno has also now picked up his broken.
Lone Delphi just running straight towards that turret. They know something's up when you don't see Techno. JJ, turret goes down, and now Nova, like you said, now pushing in the lead. Gold in their favor. Only about 1,000 at this moment in time. But that's some big item spikes for a lot of people here. No Wave Gauntlet coming out for Starboy. That's a big item for him.
Wow, absolutely ridiculous. Netwillet also with the only got the Crucible right now, so it means if he uses the Null Wave Gauntlet, he's going to force Netwillet to use the Crucible to block it, which means Blast Tremor is going to land on the rest of the team, and that's a very aggressive move from Starboy, looking to take the initiative in these fights, look for the engages, and make it so that it's very difficult to protect Palmatoro and Techno JJ. Although Grace is often seen as quite a durable hero, her actual base health is incredibly low, so if you can catch her when she's not got her Holy Shield up, she'll actually go down incredibly quickly, and Nova have got obviously everything in terms of damage output to do that.
And EU coming all the way over from, funnily enough, Europe, coming across the pond, about an 11-hour flight. I know, right? But maybe they need to kind of respect the North American teams, yes, but play without nameplates on. Play like they're just playing a normal game, a normal scrim in Europe. Just imagine they're playing not against North America, because realistically, they don't want to just fry themselves a bit too much. Gold miner will go down, 200 gold each to Nova here. So another big payout for them, about 2,000 in the lead. Truth pushing forward here onto Fnatic.
Truth looks incredible right now. Huge damage output that he's got, and Fnatic are just, they are playing like scared kittens. You know, they've given or allowed Nova to take things for free. Fnatic had opportunities to try and push their advantage, but chose not to do so. And maybe they're getting punished for it now.
Oh, Impale doesn't end up missing. That's going to be a stun on Netwillet. The Merciless Pursuit will connect. Netwillet will take about half his HP for it. No Delphi. Whoop, there we go. There's the Githium wall, however. He does have From Hell's Heart, and Fnatic in a bit of a precarious position at the moment. Netwillet, oh, missing that Impale, locked in that animation. Will cause Nova again, just to take their fronts and their, well, almost their backs. Take both of their fronts and rotate to the shot. They have perfect map control right now.
Fnatic don't look like they are sort of desperate to make plays, which makes me feel that they have confidence in Techno JJ's late game ability on this Sky to try and step up and match the damage output of Truth. Remember, the single target focus from Fnatic is pretty solid if they can find a lock on. They've got great dive with this Grace and Lance. If they can get into the backline and put pressure onto Truth, they might have a recipe for success. But right now, Nova looking like the better team. They had a bit of an early storm to weather, but have weathered it just so well. And also you can see Truth now working towards his third item.
Lone Delphi dashing in, there comes the Death from Brother, he's going to get blocked. That Grace is just melting. Truth picks up the kill, and that's a big Null Wave used on Techno JJ and Netwillet. Techno going very low, using those boots to get away, and a barrel roll from Netwillet as well to get a bit of distance. And turret under massive threat, but like you said, as soon as that shield is down from Grace, she melts.
Yeah, she's very, very low HP right now. Not a lot of defenses either. Palmatoro still only on the tier 1 shielding. Sentry defeated, another turret going down. Nova looking so good. Techno JJ not finding the lock-ons either. He doesn't want to get into range of that chakram. So, you know, the damage output from the Sky when she's not locked on is just not good enough on this update to be considered, you know, viable. You can't just spam forward barrage and get away with it anymore. You actually have to be sort of decisive in your maneuvers, looking for the openings to try and find that locked on damage, and Techno JJ just hasn't done enough of that right now. Truth now is Broken Myth. This is CP Idris in his full online form. He's going to be a monster to deal with. I mean, Truth is this rising star of the Nova team. You know, he came into this week. I talked to him. He was head down, quite shy. It's almost been a transformation as both a person and a player. He started playing with confidence. He started oozing confidence in conversation. You can see he is really coming into his own as a rising star of the Vainglory scene.
Exactly that. He's dashing forward, not afraid to take a little bit of Fnatic's damage. And coming up against Palmatoro, a very seasoned jungler on the side of Fnatic. Don't want to say the new dog's beating the old dog to his tricks, but regardless of the fact, Netwillet Palmatoro right now, not having the performance maybe he wants. Lone Delphi a little bit caught out though. That is a lot of damage. TennoJJ finally finds him Starboy Truth. Head from above is going to separate them both. However, big no wave Gauntlet and the Blast Drum is going to come out, but the silence is going to stop those basic attacks. Truth thrown to 1v3 right now. Palmatoro going very low, but that Divine Intervention will save them for the moment. Truth ends up falling. There's the ace for Fnatic, and they're going to go towards that gold mine.
I mean, they split up the Nova composition there. Lone Delphi caught out of position and Fnatic capitalized so well. They're going to find a little bit of gold back for themselves. They needed this boon to allow them to function on the same level as Nova. But even more important, you've got to check at the damage that TennoJJ is doing when he actually locks onto a target. Let's take a look at this. They isolate and deal with Lone Delphi, but take a look at TennoJJ's locked on damage. The difference between pre-update Sky and post-update Sky on this current update that we're on, 217, it's ridiculous how much damage she can do when she actually locks onto a target, when she's got the CP to compensate it as well. Look at that, melts through them. If TennoJJ can do that in team fights, you can blow Truth up really, really quickly. I think that's what they need to find to do.
Well, Fnatic now being a little bit more proactive. It's kind of this game has been a bit of a roller coaster for them in proactivity. They've gone up and they've gone, okay, 3 kills up, great, we're going to push turrets, we're going to, take Nova's front camps, but then they just, rest on their laurels, and now, once again, they're being very proactive, catching out Lone Delphi. It may be their key to success. They're going to get fared out. Lone Delphi maybe looking for an entrance here, using that from Hell's Heart. No Wave Gauntlet, Echo, and Blast Tremor available for Starboy, so triple silence might spell Fnatic's doom, and Starboy just wanted to shut down everybody.
Yeah, this is the Catherine that everyone comes to fear, the ability to consistently lock a team up with multiple silences. Netwillet's got his own Echo here for the several Githian walls. Often Lance is considered a pretty good pick into Cruel for the very reason that you can just knock him away as he tries to find his target. Remember, he is a simple movement speed-based jungler. He likes to have the increase in movement speed, and if you can knock him away, that kind of shuts it down.
Starboy going for the engage, Netwillet taking a lot of damage. That locked on damage just ripping through Starboy, like you mentioned earlier. Death from Above's going to come through as well. Benediction onto Lone Delphi on the sidelines. However, the stun goes on to Netwillet. He has to execute very quickly. Unbelievable damage, but Netwillet is still going to fall if he doesn't be careful. Starboy is going to get locked on as well now, but look, 2v3 right now. Truth on the sidelines. Divine Intervention comes out, saves Palmatoro for the meantime, but TennoJJ, look at the damage onto Lone Delphi, just following him off with that locked on. Truth is going to find the kill, double kill, almost a triple. Sentry will count it though, no worries. Palmatoro, only one left alive now, and now Nova marching towards that Kraken.
Oh, TennoJJ a little bit overextended there, really desperate to try and find a Suri strike. I'm wondering why he didn't Suri strike to try and find a flank position there. It almost felt like he was scared to do so, but a free Kraken delivered, and Truth absolutely crushing with this 4-item CP Idris build right now. It is going to be a simple push for Nova. They are on the brink of taking the first game in this series against Fnatic, a team who comes in from Europe as a very strong contender for this Unified Western Live Championships, but they just haven't found their groove, haven't found their gear just yet.
They've even taken a turret, and they're about to lose another one if they're not careful. Now, you said Truth is online. You can see the damage he's pumping out now. Last item, Eve of Harvest for him to get the regeneration on board. Kraken's going to march on Fnatic. They have to be proactive now. They've got no choice. Netwillet taking a lot of damage from those chakrams. Actually, he's forced to back off, and now, resulting in that, there will be a turret going down. The base is broken. Fnatic are up against the ropes.
The turrets go down so quickly here. They're going to go in.
Palmatoro jumping in with the Benediction. Nice use of the Githian wall to stop the stun coming out. The Echo has been used, however, so Starboy's going to be able to use that. Nova already taking out one member. Netwillet backing off still. Hasn't been back to base. Truth chasing him up. TennoJJ 1v4 with that Kraken on the board as well. Oh, Starboy almost fell to the turret. Watch that, buddy, but no, that'll be Nova. They're going to take one. Kraken just marching on that base. The Crystal's going to fall as well. That will be Nova taking the first game in this best of 5.
17 minutes. It was almost an understated game from Nova, but maybe a lesson in draft for Fnatic.